What are you doing? Hello.
What's going on? Tweaker project day. Did we finish them all? More people are going to start doing that.
Tweaker project?
Yes.
Since we still have some daylight left, we decided to pull Tony's dad's car out of the trailer that we keep it in to keep it out of the elements so we can take him out on a cruise.
We're going to take him out today because he's 85 and he got this car years ago, early 80s, and that's what kind of got me into all this racing nonsense. And he doesn't get to go out on it much, so we're just going to go cruise around for half hour, and do some burnouts, and hopefully he's excited. Yep.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
Come on, baby. What are you going right for?
I'm going to go cruise.
Oh. Well, there's nothing to cruise down here. You got to go uptown.
I'm going to make sure the radiator cools down.
Let's take it off this Friday.
I can.
Huh?
I'm going to Texas.
What's the temperature?
150.
So it's doing okay, huh?
Yeah.
You keep putting it in neutral.
Coasting.
People think it's a stick shift. Yeah, they're all surprised when I used to tell them it's an automatic. An automatic? The 442 was made for stick shift. Did you know that?
Yeah.
442. 4-speed, 4 carburetor, dual exhaust.
4-speed, 4-barrel.
Yeah, 4-speed, 4-barrel. And I told you the story about this car, didn't I?
What's that, Dad?
Bunky Knudsen was head of Oldsmobile, and they made the Oldsmobile in '68 and '69, and those are the ones that had the stick shift. In 1970, the government was putting restrictions on automobiles, so they went up to the office, and they I think there were 3 engineers. They walked into his office for a meeting, and they said, "We'd like to make one last car, muscle car, before the government puts all the restrictions on it." And they said, "We have a real good idea." And they showed him the drawing of this thing, and he goes, "Boy, it's really nice." He really liked it. Bunky Knudsen. Anyway, he gave them the okay to do it, and they built this car. Yeah, Rich Faria used to abuse it. Then he couldn't sell it. He had it up for $3,000, then $2,000, and nobody would buy it. Then he came into my store on Beach Avenue and says, "I'll sell it to you for $1,500. And I didn't have the money. But your mom said, "Why don't we borrow it?" So we went to Paramount Finance in Palmdale. My credit was good, so they loaned me $1,500 and I bought it.
Well, that's it.
Well, I was raising a family, and I was only 4 or 5 years in business, and you think of your family first, But then your mom came through, and if it wasn't for your mother, I wouldn't have this. $1,500, I'll tell you. Well, he wanted to buy a travel trailer so he could go hunting with his buddies up in Mammoth. He wanted to go to Mammoth and open up a store, but he couldn't take it up there. But it sat on Avenue J, right there by where the Tire Man used to be. He had it parked there for sale, $2,000. I used to drive by and see it. Oh, and I was heartbroken. If somebody bought it. But then he came in, and your mom said, "Okay, let's go get it." That's the history of it. Now let me know when you're going to do something. Mondello motor? Well, you heard that story, didn't you?
No.
John and I, well, the motor. I told John, I said I don't want to blow the engine up. I said it's worth more money if you have the original. So I heard somebody told me about Joe Mondello. He had Oldsmobiles and he was racing Oldsmobiles. And so I said, boy, he'd be a good guy to go down there and get a motor from. So John and I went down and we went in there. He was Italian. And I go, hey, Joe Mondello, this is a Calabrese. He goes, I start talking Italian to him. He goes, hey. I go, hey. He said, what's your name? I said, Vincenzo Bolidano. He goes, hey, where the hell are you from? I said, my parents are from Italy. He goes, so are mine. So luckily he was from the same area where my parents came from.
Really?
Yeah, and he goes, so you got a praise? He goes, yeah. Man, his eyes lit up, you know. This thing at full capacity. So anyway, I said I wanted to get one of your motors. You know, he goes, Vinny. He goes, hey Vinny, I'm gonna retire. I go, you are? He goes, yeah. He says my neck and shoulders are giving me problems. He said I've been bending over doing heads for too many years. You know, because all the guys that raced used to have Mondello do his heads. And he used to polish the exhaust, and he used to orange peel the intake so the gas would tumble.
Yeah.
So he used to get 5 or 10 or 20 more horsepower out of the engine, so that they'd take his heads to Joe Mondello, but he bent over too much, and he said, I gotta retire. He said, I can't do it anymore. So he winked at me. I go, oh, what's he gonna do? So he winks at me, and he calls one of his guys over, and he says, give him one of my VO engines. He gave me one of his racing engines, Tony.
Really?
Yeah, that's what's in here.
Well, it was. This is totally different now.
Did you take it out and put another one in?
No, that one, we went ahead and blew that one up. We shot the rods out of it, broke the block, broke the crank, broke the cam.
Well, I didn't do it, you did.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you did it. Well, that was a Mondello engine. Well, where'd you get this one?
This is all me. I just spec'd it out.
Is it an Oldsmobile engine?
Yeah. There are a bunch of people over there. Yeah. This has the same stuff down. I'll just do it right here.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to do a burnout for a picture.
Want me to get out?
Yeah, you could.
I want to take a picture of myself. So I want to turn it off right now, so just push the button.
You already turned it off. It was off.
Oh, I didn't take a picture then?
You took a video. This is the video.
Okay, well I don't want it on now.
Well, it's playing the video right now. That's the video that you just took.
Oh yeah, that's nice. Shaky, yeah. Oh wait, it went. Oh, you push when it goes dim. You just push it. It'll come back again.
So now you can take video again. So you push it there.
We'll leave it off until he gets going. So when he gets ready to go, you push the buttons for me, and I'll take.
I'll be taking pictures. So I gotta.
Well, no, I mean just before he does.
Yeah.
Put it on video.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna turn it off.
Let's go, Dad. Come on, Pops. Well, how'd you think, Dad? Was that cool?
Yeah.
I didn't do the wheelie, but it was all right.
You got the video. Smell that rubber. Brings back memories.
How's it run, Dad?
Pretty good.
It needs plugs and wires. I haven't driven it.
I know.
I haven't driven it in months.
That breaks my heart. Locked up in that trailer.
It's all right. It's safe in there. The temperature hasn't been over 175.
Good. So
You remember how I used to always overheat?
that new radiator, huh?
Yeah.
You know, I had a water hookup when I used to race it. Remember that water hookup I invented?
Yeah.
You know that somebody invented it?
After you invented it?
After I did it, somebody saw me do it and they did it. I put a water pump on it, 5 gallons of water. I had a T up front, and just before I raced, I'd turn it on, I would flood my engine. And the guy goes, "Hey, you're leaking something." I said, "No, that's my cooling system." I rigged it up, and I beat that guy that used to call my car gutless. Remember that floor layer that had his son? He had an Oldsmobile, and I beat him so bad. He goes, "Here comes Vinny and his gutless." Well, it was gutless, all right. He had a Chevelle, and he goes, you know, you race on the street, you know, he says, you ought to race where the big boys race out at the track. So I go, okay, I don't know how old you were then, but I said, all right, I'll go out at the track. I went out to the track and beat him by 2 cars. Well, guess what? He sold it after I beat him. You know, the guy that had that Corvette that I beat, he sold it a week after I beat him too. Go out there by the dump, you'll see a bunch of doors out there
Oh, yeah?
where I blew them off.
Good times, huh, Dad?
Yeah, 2 years I was #1 after I got that Mondello engine. God, that thing. But I had the slicks. I used to get them down to 8 pounds, Tony. Then I'd do a burnout. And man, it would launch me. This car used to launch. Because those wrinkle walls, they used to grab.
Yeah.
And then once I got going, around 60 or 70, they'd open up, you know, and they got bigger.
It's got so much first gear ratio with the 456s that it's hard, it just spins. So if you start if you start in second, it's got so much torque. That was only quarter throttle.
I used to pat her on the, you know, when I win a race, I'd always tap this on and go, okay, baby. And boy, were they pissed. Oh man, I had guys that had foam in their mouth when I beat them, you know. Oh, we got to go again. I missed a gear. I go, nah, I already beat you. Oh, we got to go again. I said, okay. All right, John, let's do the same thing over again. And I beat him again, 2 cars. So he goes, well, you're going to have to race my buddy.
Roll your window down, Dad.
He said, you're going to have to. This car was well known all over. See how many people stop, Tony? Every time you pull up, somebody stops.
That was a nice cruise, huh, Dad?
Yeah.
Nice.
Goddamn door weighs as much as a Volkswagen.
We just got back and it decided to rain a little bit, so I'm just gonna go over real quick what the car is. It's a 1970 Oldsmobile 442 with a W30 package. My dad bought this car in 1980-81 for like 1,500 bucks. This is the car that got me into racing and started my passion for cars and drag racing. I used to go out to the boulevard with him when I was a young boy, and do racing, change the tires and stuff, and all into the 90s, where it basically sat for a little bit, and then I took the stock motor out, put another motor in, and that lasted for about 10 years, and then I threw all the rods out of it, kicked them out at the street races with my dad out there, which was pretty funny. And then we built the motor that's in it now, which is a 500-inch, 13.5 to 1 motor. It runs really well. It's got Edelbrock aluminum heads on it to perform RPMs. It's got a hydraulic roller cam in it, and a 1050 CFM carb. Very streetable, it drives fine, doesn't overheat, doesn't have any problems with it. It's all original inside, there's no roll bar, no anything in it, and that's the way we're gonna keep it. And we took my dad out in it, and he just loves this car to death, and hope you all like it.